warning, warning, warning. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I just recently figured out how to do the, what do they call them? Twitter calls? You know, the space calls on Twitter. And I've listened to a bunch of space calls on MMTLP, which is a really great source of information for us. The only thing I didn't realize until yesterday was that I was setting this up from two different angles, and I was telling everybody, and I was wrong, that it doesn't matter how we get to the destination, as long as we get there, we can hit it from all different angles. I'm sure many of you have seen my videos on this before, saying this is the same exact thing. The problem being is that there's basically two camps out there on Twitter. And it is important that you understand the difference, because I went on the one that had romaine soup on there, and the whole time he's been saying that, well, the reason why I create MySpaces is because I feel like I'm picked on the ones that Marduk and Drew Diligence and who's that other guy? Shoot, I forgot him. A lot of these guys, you know, as you know, I'm bad with names, but hey. The thing being is, there's a big difference. The ones with Marduk, due diligence, and all them, their heart is in the right place. And not only that, the information they have is in the right place. When I went on the other one, which I'm not going to, on this particular, it was my intention to make a video and to call out all the bad actors, so to speak. And I call them bad actors because actually that's what they were referred to by others, and I'm seeing that now, that they are actors. They're not MMTLP family or METAFAM. If anything, I truly believe, and this was brought to my attention before, and I rolled my eyes at it, thinking, no, they're exaggerating, but no, they're paid actors, you know. And I only mentioned the one name because that's the one name that comes up in Twitter a lot. And I probably, for the last several weeks or month or whatever, thought to myself that the Roman Soups or Romaine Soups guy, he was just misunderstood. I didn't catch a lot of the space calls that had him in them where he was being argumentative, so I guess I missed a lot of it. But he has an entire group of people that go on to his space calls, and they get these groups sometimes of 100, 150, 200, which I think when they get groups that size, they think they've won. Now, the other groups with the people with their heart in the right spot, the MMTLP, METAFAM, that is out there knowing the facts and knowing that at some point we'll trade, the opposing group, or the bad actors, or whatever you want to call them, they are they're fighting this every step of the way and trying to convince people to pretty much give up. You know, and that in itself is an extreme negative. And they also create this distension. Those of you that caught me on the space call, I was on both those, and then I went on to the Murdoch and Due Diligence one, which is the one I normally listen to. And luckily, them guys calmed me down. There's several Twitter people, which I'm not going to call out this time, but I'm going to listen to them a couple more times. Maybe not using my my actual Twitter account. Spy on them a little. I don't know. But the messages that they're sending out there is false information. They're lies. I mean, they're not just making up. I thought they were just ignorant to what was going on or how these things work, but no. They are literally trying to convince people into, as far as I'm concerned, giving up their shares. You know, not paying attention to what's going on, to accept the fact that you were wrong. You know, that you were wrong, that you probably should have never invested in MMTLP to begin with. You know, and that you're never going to get your money, and you might as well give up. I mean, that's their general play. I mean, they act like they're not like that, and then when people get on and anyone opposes anything they have to say, I mean, I had made the comment that I had said before the U3 halt, that I felt people should turn off their stop loss and just pay attention to what's going on, and that's what I was going to do. And this one girl, the heck was her? I don't want to say her name anyway. I mean, I want you, if you go on to, the bottom line of this is if you go on to a Twitter space and they start telling you that your ideas are ignorant and that's the stupidest thing I ever heard, and and that was the thing about the whole, when I told people to turn off their stop losses. Oh, this one girl that has she's got freaking 16,000 followers or something like that, tore into me and told me that's the stupidest, ignorantest advice you could ever give anyone on anything. And I tried explaining to her, not with this particular plan, this is why, but no, they kept muting my mic and, just shutting me down. They acted like that I was still on the call, but they kept muting me every time I would say something that they would disagree with. And it felt as if their entire purpose was just to keep everybody down and to make y'all believe that our day isn't coming, which isn't true at all. And their other purpose was to frustrate me and or anyone that believed the MMTLP would go, would get a decent resolution, or the market would open back up on this. And it felt like they were being paid to say the things that they were being paid. And I just want you to know, if you get on a space call and you start feeling like they're frustrating you and they're saying everything the opposite of what you believe in, just get off the call and then go look up MMTLP and see if there's another space there and maybe a more positive space, because sometimes we do need support. And there's been a lot of people in my METAFAM that have been there to give me that support during times of that I was depressed and sad. I had mentioned on hashtag Faces of MMTLP about my wife leaving during this fiasco, pretty much right after the U3 haul. And I know a lot of people have a lot of horrible stories that are out there. And the whole point of these space calls is not only to pass on information, but to support each other. And I'm just saying, there's a group out there that is supporting people, and then there's a group out there that isn't. When I went on the other space call, I immediately was able to speak. They gave me a mic. They reminded me to just ignore them. Just ignore them. Just mute them. If you delete them or block them, then they can be talking behind your back, and it can make you look worse, or make it look like you're one of the bad actors or something like that. But it feels like their whole objective is to create distension, to create issues, and to create problems. And I didn't see it as that originally. But I do see that as that now. And it's important that we support each other. There's a lot of people, even in the YouTube world, which obviously y'all know I paid a lot more attention to. Like, I haven't seen RBT, Right Ready Trader, in a long time. I don't think he's posted a video in forever. I mean, where did he go? Does anyone know? I mean, we all know that a lot of what he was saying about the OTC market was, he was saying this stuff months before the U3 halt, months before the MMTLP play, and he was spot on. Smokey had a lot of good things to say too, and I really haven't seen many videos on Smokey either. I think we're losing a lot of our METAFAM, or people that were in it for the same cause that we are to correct this. I think they're getting discouraged, and I think it's some of these bad actors, and that's a good word for them, because I think they're paid actors. These bad actors are discouraging a lot of our community, and you need to not only support the MMTLP family, the METAFAM, as I've been saying right along, by liking and sharing and passing the word on, but you also need to ignore the bad actors that are out there that are telling you everything that you don't want to hear. I get comments on my channel all the time that are extremely negative, and I don't know if you guys have read. I try to twist them and turn around and say, we'll see, or keep it as a positive message rather than say things like, you are a complete idiot. And if you go on to one of these wrong Twitter spaces, that's exactly what you're going to feel. You're going to feel as if they're all calling you an idiot. you know, and they talk down to you. They talk down to you like you're an idiot, to the point where you start questioning yourself. You start questioning everything. And you don't need that, because it isn't even a matter of positivity or negativity when it comes to this play. There's a matter of fact and not fact, evidence and not evidence, information sharing that we've been doing, and everything leads to the fact that we will get our 2 days of trading or something of some form of an equivalent. As you know, with my last video and with several of the MMTLP videos that are out there, our messages are now being heard in Congress and in the Senate, and we're starting to get some responses and replies. I mean, we feel like we've been ignored forever. We're starting to finally get some replies, and we are hearing things along the line of there are people that are going to help us with this fight. There are people that are in this fight that are high up. There are people in this fight that are rich. There are people in this fight now that have some power, that are now in this fight that weren't in this fight recently. So we're moving in the right direction. But what we all need to do is keep hitting that like button, share, and keep passing a positive message on that MMTLP isn't going away, that our day will come.